would seem as if he's playing in an orthodox left-back position.
Mikel Arteta scratching his head a little bit once he saw the lineups. Ben White. He was on a Brighton team that came from 2-0 down to beat Manchester City 2 seasons ago. Gabriel Jesus quickly in to breathe right into the face of his former teammate Ederson.
Yeah, well, I would imagine that Arsenal will want to start here with lots of aggression, and I think Akanji knows that. Okay, he doesn't have the speed that he came up against Sané at Bayern Munich. He doesn't have to deal with that, but he's got to deal now with Saka's trickery. Saka's footwork is exceptional.
Come on. For a better start than Friday when they conceded after only 28 seconds. City's first proper attack. That was appeals from City, but that might have glanced an arm. Referee Michael Oliver waves away those protests. The air up tonight is David Coote, who's had a look and confirmed check complete. Poor distribution for the back there. It's Haaland. Grealish against White. He still wasn't able to gather it. Down goes De Bruyne, and it's a free kick to Arsenal. Vieira again will have a look. 2 incidents inside the Arsenal penalty area. 2 minutes on the clock.
Well, I think the referee has deemed that Haaland was the one who ended up kicking Partey, and the check is complete on that. I mean, I think everybody thought that Partey was just getting in his way, but he ends up kicking him. I mean, Partey tried to protect the ball. Just watch the way he gets his leg across. And yeah, he's been kicked by, sorry, I said Haaland, it's De Bruyne, of course. And I think that's the right call.
Thomas Partey made his Arsenal debut against Manchester City back in 2020. Manchester City were adamant they might have had a chance at a spot kick there. Arsenal breathe a sigh of relief.
Well, yeah, particularly Ramsdale, because he was the one that stretched to try and get something better on it, and it went into an area that he was hoping it wouldn't.
Kicked on by Grealish. Well, Arsenal could have been 7 points clear 5 days ago against Southampton. For all the talk of it being a missed opportunity, they do hold the lead at the top of the table. However, the relentless nature of Manchester City's pursuit has the home side fancied in the win probability. Zinchenko knows every blade of grass here at the Etihad. Holding. Waiting for Martinelli. City thought he might have been offside. So Saka and away by Kyle Walker.
Yeah, it's very clever by Martinelli. He made the first movement from out to in, from left to right, and the ball didn't come, but he just kept on venturing across City's defensive line and stayed on side. I think we might see a bit more of that.
So if he was offside here, probably just on.
Yeah, I think it was John Stones that probably kept him on, even though he was raising his arm in the hope that the assistant would raise his flag.
Zinchenko. Gabriel was sent off against Manchester City last season of the Premier League.
De Bruyne, when City are defending, becomes like the second striker. So they defend 4-4-2.
Haaland almost intercepting. Saka applauding the intention of that pass from Thomas Partey.
Yeah, that will be repeated coming.
So the 3-1 down with 2 minutes of normal time remaining against Southampton before their late comeback to draw. Mikel Arteta would love for his team to start in that sort of accelerated vein this evening. Surely he can't afford to leave it so late to click into gear this time. Good pursuit by Odegaard. Cleared away by Stones. Great control by Hopkins. He's got Grealish if he needs it, but this is a thrusting surge.
Oh my goodness, Kevin De Bruyne.
Home and away this season. The Belgian scores against Arsenal. And if you've ever seen a more determined thrust than that, from the moment De Bruyne got possession, he had just one thing in his mind.
Yeah, meanwhile, Pep Guardiola seems to be giving Ederson a telling off. He looked as if he was out for a Sunday stroll as he dealt with the ball back, but it's De Bruyne and Haaland in reverse on this occasion. And this is brilliant centre forward play, the way he can use his strength just to keep the defender at bay and then just get De Bruyne in. I thought it was going to go wide left. I just wondered for a moment while Ramsdale just stepped onto his right side thinking that De Bruyne was going to go for the other corner. And instead he chose the near post. Yeah, I think he might just have thought, I'm getting ready to dive right, and instead he had to try and react left. By then it was too late.
Kevin De Bruyne has scored more Premier League goals against Arsenal than any other team. This is the start that Guardiola wanted. Manchester City have no intention of relinquishing their crown. The hurt on the face of Gabriel Jesus. Arsenal's task has just got significantly more difficult.
You mentioned the potential of a treble this season for City, and of course 5 Premier League titles in 6. Also, it could be a hat-trick of titles for Manchester City and Guardiola. He did it in Spain and he did it in Germany.
So, a long way to go tonight, but as it stands for now, 3 points would move Manchester City up to within 2 of the leaders with 2 games in hand.
In North London, that's a horror story right now, that Reed.
Zinchenko.
Yeah, come on.
Flag had been raised. Arsenal offside. Seventh season in charge. First time he's been at a club for 7 years, Pep Guardiola, and his team took the lead tonight in the 7th minute. Arteta knew he was in for a tactical game of chess tonight, and it feels more complicated than ever now.
Yeah, and already Haaland's got one over on Holding, who was holding him in midfield, literally.
Zinchenko finding it difficult to get out. Erling Haaland, who's been on the finishing end of so many assists from Kevin De Bruyne, but he's returned the favour. Such strength despite the best intentions of Holding. And that's not a bad Erling Haaland impersonation from Kevin De Bruyne. This tight battle, the title race, moments like that really, really matter. This is Partey.
Come on, release the ball, Partey.
Saka. By White.
Get that guy out, man. How can he just pass like that, man? It's horrible for
Manchester City in these early stages.
Haaland
looks one way as the ball dribbles the other.
he should trust the good because the ball was perfect and he just wasn't aware it was just behind his feet.
Oh.
10 minutes in, so far so good for Manchester City.
Get the ball out of that place, man.
Zinchenko. Kick foul by Bernardo Silva.
I think that was more slip than foul. And I think the reaction from the Manchester City manager says it all. I mean, there's a touch of the hand on the shirt, but it's a slip from Xhaka. That's a mistake from Michael Oliver, in my opinion.
It's fair to say that Guardiola is pretty riled up for this one tonight.
He admitted in the pre-match press conference that he gets
Come on, guys. Guys can get out of the defense. Get the ball forward, man.
So we fall back into defensive formation. Gabriel.
Over the top, man. We need some over the top balls. Come on. Like that.
Looking for Saka.
Oh, Saka. Come on.
Into this game.
Can't even get a one touch correctly, man.
Against the Manchester clubs, Bukayo Saka. His last 5 games against either City or United. Saka has scored in each of those 5 games. From White.
That ball on the carpet, man.
Time and time again in these opening 13 minutes, Manchester City turn RC forced into retreat. Real Jesus. John Stones was the defender.
Ah, come on. Back pass again.
Holding. Gabriel.
Akin to what we saw at the Emirates back in February, Conor, when Manchester City won that game 3-1. Arsenal with all the ball, Manchester City with the lead.
It's not ready to also dominate possession.
Lose that ball.
On the other side.
And lose that ball.
It's not hindering Manchester City's progress. They also find themselves pending once more. No easy exit ramp for Gabriel.
And if you dwell on the ball, and I mean Ramsdale did for a little bit, then you know you're going to be shut down really quickly, and it gave Gabriel very little in terms of options. Got to be quicker with it.
So have had the youngest average age team in the Premier League this season. No club has ever won the title of the youngest starting 11 across a campaign.
Yeah, and this becomes the ultimate test now, Conor, having conceded the first goal for Arsenal at the Etihad. What have you got?
Shouting instructions to Erling Haaland and John Stones at the moment. Good start for City. Guardiola will be relentless in As he attempts to build on it. Here comes Akanji.
Hey.
Muscle from Thomas Partey. It's a push. Free kick to Arsenal.
I mentioned at the start that Partey would have to do this type of work and get back and assist his defence. There was a little touch, and once he felt that, he thought, well, I might as well hit the deck, and the referee felt obliged to give it.
Manchester City are briefly top of the standings for 3 nights in February. Otherwise, though, Arsenal have led the Premier League since early November. 168 of the last 171 nights have seen Arsenal on top of the pack. And all accounts as who is top at the end of May 28th. Silva, Kyle Walker, River, good space for John Stones. And we covered the River goal, by the way. It moves him ahead of Yaya Toure now in City's list of Premier League goal scorers. He's up to 63. Only Aguero and Sterling have scored more for City. Gabriel Jesus couldn't get it close enough to Saka. Must have been resorted to those long deliveries quite frequently in these early stages. Rodri, who used to play alongside Thomas Partey, his teammates for Real Madrid in the past. Tony from City.
You come on.
No urgency for Ruben Diaz.
I think this is something that City have added to their game this season, and I think particularly in Europe, that it doesn't have to be all-out attack all the time. Relax on the ball and have a spell or two defending, getting a little deeper, and I think it seems to suit City.
Nathan Kudaside, who's been a good performer in recent months for Pep Guardiola. He's got a hamstring problem. He's the only injury absentee at the moment. Stones. Rodri. Akanji. At the moment, Arsenal can't get possession. Chance for holding, who's forced to bring down De Bruyne.
Yeah, I mean, it's very clever from De Bruyne to be able to just thread it through his legs, and of course Holding is not coming down to follow it up.
De Bruyne is keeping his own tally of how many fouls there's been already in these 20 minutes.
Yeah, well, hopefully it wasn't, all Holding he was trying to blame, because it seemed a little too many.
Kick to City again. This time, Rodri, the player taken down. Scored home and away against Arsenal last season. Rodri, Partey's had some hefty challenges in the early stages. Brother. And Silva just checked his run as the pass was played towards him. Munster dominating the pupil so far. Ireland. It's Holden's clearance. Martinelli, who we barely mentioned in these opening 20 minutes so far. Bernardo Silva. Zinchenko's going to be careful. And he nearly smuggled it through.
Didn't get enough on it. That was the problem for Silva in the end. The strength behind his effort. Bouncing ball, and he kicked it into the ground. So it took a bit more pace off it. Zinchenko as well had to be a little careful that he didn't clip Silva. It was a poor header on his part.
Stones.
Hey.
Xhaka.
I think this has gone down as high foot. Ricocheted back off Xhaka's head. Or his arm, in fact.
This is the first set piece really that Arsenal have had in the Manchester City half in this opening quarter of the match. First time the likes of Gabriel and Holding have been able to come forward to join the attack. And then Xhaka takes his time. Jostling for position.
He didn't need to do that. I mean, it's just he's been booked.
It's sometimes a bit kabuki theatre when the players are jostling for possession. They know the eyes are on them. They got it big and strong. They went down very easily there. Xhaka floats it in. It doesn't threaten. Last season he was the top scoring central defender in the Premier League, Gabriel.
Yeah, nothing he could do about this once Haaland set De Bruyne away. I mean, the Belgian just basically took the ball away from him, never really gave him a chance, and it was a beautiful finish. Very simple, but hurtful for the visitors.
7th goal in the last 7 years against Arsenal for Kevin De Bruyne. Just what Pep Guardiola would have wanted.
Come on,
Second. Zinchenko. Xhaka. Manchester City working hard out of possession. Saka. This is Gabriel Jesus.
You know, that corner, man.
Odegaard.
Let's move. You guys are stuck in the middle.
Zinchenko.
Stuck in the corner.
As many passes as Arsenal put together inside their opponents after the game. Clever ball from the Ukrainian. Zinchenko able to hold on. Martinelli too forceful against Manchester City.
I think that's the most confident we've seen Arsenal moving the ball about the City half, and it ended with that. And Martinelli, Rodri saw it coming.
So we've struggled to score in recent meetings with City. They were beaten 1-0 in the FA Cup in January, 2-0 in the Premier League in February. So they've only got 3 goals across their last 10 matches against City. Here's Haaland.
Again! Come on!
Takes on Gabriel.
Oh no! Yes!
Good block from Holding.
Hey, what a block.
That was fraught with danger. Free kick to Arsenal to relieve the pressure. But Haaland De Bruyne combination worked again.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, it's his size and his reach, the way he's able to get there first and just poke it beyond Holding. And Gabriel is kind of left with White, desperately trying to defend De Bruyne. And he looked here as if, yeah, he's going to score. And that's excellent work from the right back to deny him.
That was Ben White, wasn't it? Very important block. De Bruyne who had turned Gabriel inside out.
There's a patience about them, isn't there? It's not a desperation to attack at all costs. They're very measured in managing it. Manchester City.
Very controlled. Reigning champions so far. Manchester City with much greater experience in recent times. This sort of atmosphere, it is rarefied air for Arsenal. Here's Bernardo Silva. Kevin De Bruyne.
Look at that.
Gundogan was his target. All Arsenal can do is clear their lines and wait for it to come back to them. Xhaka looks for Saka here.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
So Gabriel Jesus
Down in front.
Odegaard's arriving.
Ah, no! Come on, man, Saka. Really can't get the ball for me like that.
Well, it conjures up memories of the Liverpool game, doesn't it? I know it was wider on that occasion, but that's the kind of work he's putting in.
Look at that.
Manchester City rolling up their sleeves.
Come on. Look at that run. Look at that run.
Here is Erling Haaland. De Bruyne wants it back.
Someone is not getting De Bruyne now. Look at that. Yeah.
It wasn't
No one
the
is
cleanest
marking
connection.
KDB, man.
But Arsenal's defence is under
Come on.
enormous pressure at the moment.
The cracks are widening.
Ah.
Grealish. Madrid. Three weeks ago, Manchester City were 8 points behind. Tonight it could be 2, with the 2 games in hand. In patience on display. Gundogan. Walker. Now Ruben Diaz. Manchester City fans around the Etihad stand up for the champions. Listen, has not had much to do until his 61st Premier League start in a row. He's the only Manchester City player to have started every Premier League game this season.
Yeah, he's had a good look at the landscape a few times and decided not to go long because we know he delivers superbly. Yeah, in fact, I'm just looking at Pep Guardiola. Maybe I misread it earlier on that he wanted Edison just to sharpen up a bit. In fact, he's just made a gesture there as if to say, keep it calm. No rush.
It's fascinating the permutations and deliberations that will go through the mind of Pep Guardiola in the early stages of the game as he seeks out the weaknesses of an opponent.
Hey, come on.
Mr. Walker, a bit smart today. Referee says ground, Bernardo Silva to Gundogan. Walker. Bernardo Silva.
Come on.
Stones. Stones. Marshall would appear to be afraid to press too high in case the gaps for City to pounce in behind. Mr. Brother. Grealish. Haaland. First time. Oh, we had a right crack at that. Ramsdale stood firm.
That in itself is rather outrageous, but the power he unleashed from an acute angle like that, I think Ramsdale had to be bright. I think the earlier one, I think Ramsdale was able to save it because he didn't get enough on it. The connection wasn't to his liking.
So nothing this season that Erling Haaland has found himself with a sort of goal and unable to find the clean connection. So we'll get too many let-offs like that.
And we spoke earlier about the fact that Arsenal were enjoying more of the possession. Well, look at the last 10 minutes, what Manchester City are doing with the ball now. And they've got some end product with it.
Oh, come on.
Erling Haaland, who is on 48 goals for his 42 appearances so far for Manchester City. Gabriel Jesus. Arsenal wrestle.
Come on, Zinchenko. Keep the run, man.
So, I'm not on the score sheet yet, but he is keeping Arsenal's defence busy.
I mean, that's a superb attempt. And on the earlier one, you could see he was desperate to get it back on his left foot. And in the end, he just kind of snatched at it a little bit. He may have even been able to take a touch and find the corner. And he was annoyed maybe at his decision then.
8 goals clear of Harry Kane in the race for the Golden Boot. Erling Haaland has played 4 games fewer than Kane.
Haaland. 4 games fewer than Harry Kane.
Interesting the way it's up.
8
Opposite
goals
from him
ahead.
there, Jim. So many of Haaland's goals come with his first touch.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. He has that. Well, look, to score 48 goals, you need a certain efficiency in being able to find the back of the net, and he has all that. He has everything. He has the pace, the power, he has the size, he has the reach. And Mikel Arteta, at this moment in time, will be a worried visiting manager as to how Arsenal are going to be able to cope with him from here.
Arsenal came into this game 10-match unbeaten run in the league. They dropped the same number of points from winning positions in their last 3 games
Pass the ball
as
quicker.
they did in their previous 47 Premier League matches.
Let's go. Let's go.
Partey.
Oh my goodness, Patrick, if you don't target at least, man.
Proper question asked. Something for Arteta to applaud.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, we've seen little moves from Arsenal already that had promise and not quite the end product. You know, that's getting closer again. I mean, Partey has been known to stick one in the roof of the net. Certainly did it against Tottenham.
And 3 Premier League goals this season for Thomas Partey. As well as Spurs, he scored against Nottingham Forest, scored against Bournemouth last month. But every goal he's ever scored for Arsenal, Partey, has been at home at the Emirates.
This guy's under pressure. Come on. Come on, you Gunners. Come on. That's what I'm talking about.
Second.
Ah, come on. Pressure, pressure.
City get it back. De Bruyne.
Oh my goodness, what a pass.
On the track again. Haaland.
Call it,
He's got
call it.
Bernardo
Come on,
Silva to
guys.
his right. Taking
No, don't give him his left. Oh my goodness.
the majority of
You have
people in the
survived.
stadium thought that was it.
Yeah. And we were talking about, you know, Saka and Martinelli, I should say, Gabriel Martinelli, but Jack Grealish is giving Ben White all sorts of problems, and he has become a source to feed Haaland. And I mean, when Gabriel starts turning his back on the ball, you're in trouble. That is not good defending. And you're right, Connor, everybody thought it was going to mess up just inside the post. 10-2.
Second goal for Manchester City ahead of half-time, and Arsenal really would be in peril.
Pressure, guys, pressure. Very good.
Agriculture clearance from John Stones.
Good pressure, guys. Let's keep it 1-0. Till half time.
City travel to play Fulham on Sunday. It's West Ham here at the Etihad. That's this night next week. City's run in. Leeds at home, Everton away, Chelsea at home, Brighton away, and Brentford away on the last day of the season. As well as those Premier League games, Manchester City have an FA Cup final to come. 2 legs in the Champions League semi-final too. There goes Potter. It was a collision with Erling Haaland. Michael Oliver is saying that he stopped playing not because he thinks it's a foul, but because he thinks it's a head injury.
Yeah, Xhaka and Grealish have gone head to head after this too, and Xhaka doesn't want to go there again. Remember Liverpool? How that changed. I mean, he did go for a little kind of feel on Partey, and Partey played on it.
Presumably, Raymond restarts here with a drop ball, uncontested. Can lead to frustration at times. You can see the pressure the officials are under. There's such a close scrutiny on head injuries and anything that can be done to prevent them. When the player goes down, holding his head, the referee is obliged to stop the game.
Yeah, there was a lot of frustration in the stadium. You could hear it because of what happened, but you're right, Connor, the referee has to do that.
Mr. Bruno.
Come on!
Steals away these opportunities to
push their legs. Oh my goodness! What a tackle!
By Holding. Clever defending actually to play the ball off Jack Grealish for a goal kick. You don't see that often, but quick thinking from Rob Holding. Sorry, from Gabriel was it here?
Good block, Rob Holding, good block.
That was the tackle that thwarted Grealish, and it was White. Yeah.
Just over 5 minutes of normal time remaining in this first half. Arsenal have really had to weather a storm so far.
Yeah, I think if Arsenal can, get to half time with this scoreline, I think there'll be a bonus, because Manchester City could have it won by now.
Not many teams managed to turn around Manchester City after the other side get the opening goal. Back in January, though, Manchester United did it, you might remember. City were 1-0 up, and Manchester United came back to win.
Here oh no! Oh, what a stop! What a save! My goodness!
Thinking to kick it away too.
Ramsdale, man. Let's go! Let's go!
Ramsdale is becoming
guys, fast up. Keep it down.
Anfield in the second half.
Give me 1-0.
But things could have gotten worse, and he's made another very good save here. In fact, a double save. brilliant work by Gundogan, and it nearly went through his legs, you know, as he tried to deal with that near post effort from Haaland. And they're just wondering, you know, how long are we going to have to wait for the second?
2 goals against Leicester in the last league game here for Erling Haaland. He has dealt very well with Saka so far. Make no mistake, Saka is Arsenal's danger man. He's not been given any space to show what he can do so far.
Yeah, there's been a search for Saka.
Come on, Arteta, we need to mix things up,
Arsenal
man.
need to go forward.
Let's Saka and
There's a
Martinelli
bias to
swap
that right
wings.
side.
Saka has scored against City in each of the last 2 league meetings. Here he is, cutting off that flank to score a fine goal against Manchester United earlier on this season. He's not really had any sort of shooting opportunity so far tonight. Slip from Grealish, Odegaard, Zinchenko. It's a good ball in.
Ah, come on.
With a touch, and Saka was lurking in behind him, and the Portuguese international not got there.
I mean, it was just a little glance header, but it was so important because of what you said, Connor. Saka's just looking to try and get in on it. There's a wrestling match going on between him and Akanji.
This is a sort of a push by Akanji on Saka. Diaz, who fell awkwardly, fell into Saka as he was stretching backwards. It's going to be a corner to the visitors. First corner of the night. Arsenal have not had a shot on target yet. There's a huddle of players here, as you can see. Far side from where the kick is going to come. Arsenal something up their sleeve here. Now they disperse. Ederson with the punch. Odegaard. Saka. Plenty to aim for. But he can't find any of them. Overcooked from Bukayo Saka.
Yeah, and that was the one when Holding did get something on it, and it bounced up, and of course it was into the ground again, which always takes some of the pace off the ball. That was absolutely hammered. And then this is the one we thought was going to find the corner. Not quite sterling from Erling. And in terms of attempts, it's Arsenal's next step, and it's a big one. They've got to start making Ederson work a little. Manchester City, I think, will be very happy with what they're producing, and Pep Guardiola, I think, will be insisting that they get a little more accurate in the opposition's box at half-time.
It feels inevitable Manchester City are going to get more chances. Question tonight here in the east side of Manchester is, are Arsenal going to get opportunities?
Come on, Partey. Clear that ball.
Goes down, challenged by Partey. He was reaching for his pocket, but just to get the ref spray. Position Thomas Partey plays in front of the central defenders is very important. The engine room of Arsenal's team. He's been stretched to the limit of his capabilities in these 45 minutes so far. Two minutes to be added. On this of concentration from Aaron Ramsdale. It's a long way out, and he wants the security of the three-man wall.
Oh my goodness, look at that, man.
Flag is raised.
Offside. Oh, thank God.
John Stones, who scored his first Premier League goal since 2021 against Leicester last time out of this competition. Just set off a fraction too early.
Yeah, great header, but immediate disappointment because he had gone too early.
Real threat in those situations. The aerial ability of John Stones. Scored in the Champions League in September against Dortmund. When this happens in these situations, VAR just wants to make absolutely sure
Is White's foot beyond Stone's position? That's probably what the concern is.
David Coote, the video assistant referee, Eddie Smart helping him tonight. Outstretched leg of the defender. Is it behind the furthest part of Stone's body, not including his hand up to the sleeve? The light is green. This goal is going to stand.
What?
John Stones doesn't know it yet, but he has doubled Manchester City's lead ahead of the break. Stand by for celebration.
Ah, you've got to be kidding me,
On
man.
their way to 2 points from
About the lights, the man.
Manchester City 2, Arsenal 0. What a time to score as well, just before the break, to crush Arsenal's spirit.
But really, no.
Initially,
How?
it did seem as if he'd gone a fraction too early, but when it's all halted like that, and you see where the foot of Ben White is, it's played him onside, and it may have come late, but more than happy to celebrate a few minutes after the event.
Nothing on target
For
from
crying out
Arsenal.
loud,
2
man.
goals for Manchester City, living up to their billing as tonight's favourites.
And in all truth, Conor, I think this gives us a better reflection of what we've witnessed in the first half.
There's a lot of pent-up tension between these two rivals for the title. Arsenal who've held the lead for so long, but the old adage that it's a marathon and not a sprint.
Ah!
All their early pace setting.
Hey!
Arteta's team have been dragged back. Ruben Diaz is going to get the yellow card for this, for the kicking out at Ben White. There.
That's petulance. That's just petulance from Diaz. He should be just getting up and not concentrating on doing that. It has to be a booking. Yeah.
He's never been sent off for Manchester City, Ruben Diaz. His last red card was a result of Benfica. It's the first time that the bubbling pot has spilt over tonight. Might not be the last. Hoping to become the youngest manager to win the Premier League title at 41, but there's a few furrowed brows, a few wrinkles appearing for Mikel Arteta. This is stressful business.
Finding a way back against Southampton, finding a way back against the champions. Very different prospects.
Yes, 5 days ago Arsenal came from 2 goals behind to get a draw. Tonight John Stones' header has really put a cap on a fine Manchester City performance. Those two who combined with gusto for the opener. Brother loves playing against Arsenal, loves scoring against them. more goals against Arsenal than any other Premier League team. And there still might be a word or two to be added by Erling Haaland in the second half. This big game, billed as the decider, is so far going the way of the reigning champions. And Mikel Arteta has a huge team talk to go now. Manchester City 2, Arsenal 0.
Half-hour here at the Etihad Stadium, Manchester City 2, Arsenal 0.
We all know those moments when anything could happen, and it's almost as if time slows down.
Here we go, 2-0. Halftime, people. Looking ominous for the Arsenal. It's going to be a tight one. Second half is going... Aubrey, Matt, you need a drink. It's going to be long. Indeed. It's going to be long. OJ, thanks for tuning in. We're going to take a break and come back when the second half resumes. I can hear someone laughing. OJ.
Sajja batuli bubi bannange.
Batuli bubi naye all will be well. All will be well. All right, let's take a break. We're back at the second half.
Okay.
Thanks for tuning in.